So this is UDK when you open it up the first time. There's some links to information. For instance, the video tutorials tend to be quite nice. You can either use existing map or create a new map from a template or from scratch. So I'll just move this to the side. Over here we have the content browser. This is where we'll find all of the stuff we add to the scene, like static meshes, which could be anything. Like it could be a plant. If you double click it here, it opens it up so you can preview this static mesh. You can set a lot of settings for these, like collisions and how they act and so forth. So there's quite a bit of material included with the UDK. So in this case I'm in the section with pipes, so there's you can build pipes running along the walls or something like that. Okay. There's also materials. So I just do this. Let's just open all of the materials. This is a filter up here, so I can turn on and off what I like to see. So for instance, here there's a water texture. You can see when I put my mouse over it, it will animate. So if I double click this, it will open up the material editor. Hopefully, yes, this is it. So this is basically what it takes to make a running water simulation shader in UDK. So it gets a little fancy, but the nice thing about this is that it's very similar to node-based compositing.
It looks a little bit like Statich.
Yeah, also that. So this of course is one of the more involved ones. We can just take a simpler one. Let's find a basic ground grass plane. Let's take that one. So you can see this is much more simple. So it looks like this, and it has a color, and then they're doing some texture coordinates mapping. What we could also add to this one was actually add some bump mapping to this one. So what we could do was take this and drag it down there, and you can see that will change the look of it, so it will get like a bumpy feel to it. Or we could let's see, it's like, is it, I can't remember, is it disconnect here, break link. We could also map these things to like specular color or what we like. So if I grab this and put this to specular, you can see that I get a little bit of shininess there. And if you're working on materials and you want these to be put into the game, you need to click this little checkbox up here. I don't want to do it because I don't want to destroy an existing map, but that's the way it works. On the right here there's a lot of different material expressions and material functions, and that is basically loading a texture, doing a texture coordinate, inverting, desaturation, all that sort of stuff. So it's all in here as nodes. So let's first instance say I want to desaturate. So I can grab this and I can plug it in here. So I get this desaturate node. And if I hold control, I can drag it anywhere. If I don't hold control, I'm just panning around. So I can put it in here, and then I can map this like so, and do this. So it'll work like that. Okay. I'll pop out of that. No. Okay. There's also particle systems in here. So let's see, for instance, this thing. So you can see that we have this little glowing thing, and this is all controlled by this particle editor, where you can turn things on and off like you want. There's animations. So these are different animations that can be put on different types of objects or characters. the skeletal meshes, which are usually things like things running around, like this thing, and you can see it has different animations in here probably. So if we select different animations, you can see there's also animations for a gun and so forth. So all of these are different animations that can be put in to the model. Okay. Textures and skeleton meshes, there's sounds. So different sounds that can be added and so forth. So the content browser really contains everything. Also there's actor classes. This is things you can add to the scene, so things like
can you make the speed up to the mover? Is it really slow?
Yes. Well, it has to do, you can do a matinee where you can control it.
What's that?
It's an animation program.
Okay.
There's pickup, so you can add ammo pickup, armor pickup, health pickup, weapon pickup. You can add vehicles, so you can drop in different types of vehicles that you can pick up. So for instance, if I just say I want a Manta in here, I select that and I right click in my scene and I go add UT vehicle factory Manta here, and you can see it adds this vehicle in here. And it works a little bit like Maya. You can move things around by dragging the arrows. You can use these buttons at the top to change your translation mode, or you can just hit the spacebar to toggle through them. You can't toggle to non-uniform. You need to select that up here if you want to scale something in a weird way. That's the important part here. When you start UDK, you get this basic scene. Also, if you want to navigate, the easiest way is to use the normal like first-person shooter key combination W, A, S, D, E, and Q, and then right mouse button, and then you just navigate around. So this is the start scene. We have a cube that is, a box that is the ground, and there's a box there. There's a light source, you can see it up here, the DS thing. By the way, if yours are looking like this, which it probably is, you just need to click this minimize button at the top right. So this is a dominant light source. You can set the properties for things by typically just clicking them and then right clicking them and then selecting something properties, and in this case it's say it's a light. Normally it's the thing that is special for whatever you select is on the top, and the rest is like general for all objects. So in this case you can change the color of the light and the intensity and a whole lot of things, shadows and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to change the size of the start panel, the start the cube is placed on, how do you do that?
You want to change the size of this cube down here? Okay.
Platform, right?
Yeah. What you do is I select it. It's usually easier to select it in either wireframe mode or in one of the other views, because in shaded mode it wants to select the surfaces. You can see it turns blue, so it's more for adding materials and stuff. But if I select it over here, then I can just use this scale thing to scale it. Now I have non-uniform on, just turn uniform on. You see I can change the size of it. This is actually a little bit important here. First of all, down here at the right we have a few settings. There's this grid with the 16, that means we run at snapping of a grid with of 16 units. Usually you should try to snap everything in UDK, at least as long as you're working on what's called CSG, so the basic cubes and spheres. That's the ones we have over here on the left, the brushes. because the CSG works best if it's snapped. You can get away with other things than that, but generally you should try it. Also, as I change the size of this ground plane, you notice that I have this yellow thing here. And this yellow thing is something called a light mass importance volume. It's a cube you need to put in your scene that will control where lights will be rendered or it will be generated. So if I, for instance, move it outside, it will either not generate shadows, or it will be very, very slow generating them. So this should also be sized accordingly, so something like this, so it's around the scene. It's just a funny thing with UDK that it uses this thing. There's also this little funny looking icon of a dinosaur, and this is something called height fog. So that controls how the fog looks. So if I change this to maybe a green color, you can see that it changes my my surroundings. So I can make a really epic World of Warcraft scenery.
That's nice.
World of Warcraft is always dark fun.
Yes. Other things, when you need to create things in the scene, there's one very important part that you should understand. If you look in here, I actually have two models on top of each other, or brushes as they're called. I have the Builderbrush, the red one. This cannot be deleted. It will always be in your scene because that is the template you're moving around, creating things. And then there's the cube that was there in the first place. The Builderbrush is used to create new things. So if I move it over here, for instance there, and then right now it's a cube, and then I click the CSG add, then it will add a cube to my scene. If I then make something different with it, for instance I click cylinder, so now it's a cylinder. If I want to change the size of this cylinder, I should right click the button up here, so, and then I could change this to 64. Oh, that's the height, so 128, outer radius 64, 128. Yeah, that's nice. And then I move that to the top. And again, as I said, you should have snapping on, so I'll snap it to exactly the top, and then I'll add that in. There you go. So we have this. Then I'll create another cylinder, still using the Builderbrush, so this should be higher. It should be 256, and it should only have a radius of 64. And I want this to cut a hole in here, so I'll put that there, and then I'll use the CSG minus or subtract, and you can see now it creates a hole in there. These brushes are always there. You can see that the blue ones, that means they're added, and the yellow ones means they're subtracted. So if I grab this yellow one and then move it over a little bit like so, you can see that it updates here, but it doesn't look like it did anything. And that's because for this to work you need to rebuild parts of your scene. So in this case I need to rebuild geometry. So there's this little button at the top of the cube called Build Geometry, and if I click that, it will run through it. You can see it will update my geometry, and it will also tell me that I'm a moron in some weird way. You shouldn't be too worried about these informations it throws at you. It really tells you everything, but it's good when you need to debug your scene. It's very happy to tell me that I need to rebuild my light and I need to rebuild my paths. Lighting, of course, I need to rebuild because I changed my scene since my light was rendered, so it hasn't updated the shadows properly. And paths has to do with the way that things like bots run around the scene, and it needs to regenerate those when I create new geometry, because it might be that they cannot run from point A to point B because you built a mountain in there or something. So they need to regenerate the path. So basically they need to find another way to get from point A to point B. Yeah, this is the way to just build and cut and so forth. At any point you can test your scene. You can either right click and go play from here, or you can press the little green button up here, or you can press this one where it will actually compile and run the game inside the UDK system, which is more of a complete experience. But I'll just right click here and go play from here. So I'll play from where I clicked, and then I can run around my scene. And you can see there's no shadows here because they were not rebuilt, right? So there's no shadows for these boxes. There's a shadow under this vehicle I created because dynamic objects use a different type of shadow. So this will have a shadow. I don't know if I can. No. Yeah, I'm inside this thing. Yeah, then I can. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I died. Anyway, I will exit, and then I'll just rebuild my shadows. So, or lights. So there's this button with a light bulb called Build Lights. So if I start that, I just set it to preview quality, and I go OK, and it will run something called light mass, which is a swarm. Should just take a second. Maybe it takes a little longer because we resized the light mass volume. That's almost done. 96%. Sometimes it takes a long time to do the last 2 or 3% for some reason. I'm not sure why. So it's just building, building, building. So we can look at no, we can't. Oh, it's done. Okay, so you see the shadow changes look over here, and if I go play from here, you can see now my boxes have shadows. They don't look too nice because it's preview, but they're not that bad after all. Okay. This is usually where people start asking questions about weapons and stuff. The way the UDK system is made, it will automatically create a game of a certain type depending on the name of the project you're doing. So if I name this DM dash something, it will make a deathmatch map. If I call it CF dash something, it will create a capture the flag, or CTF capture the flag map, and so forth. And you can actually see it if you open the different projects. There's examples here, so I hope I can find one. UT3. You can see there's a DM deck, which is a deathmatch map, and then there's the vehicle capture the flag necropolis, which is a capture the flag map with vehicles. So let's just take the DM deck and just open that for a second so you can see what it looks like. I don't want to save what I just did. So this is a completed scene that is included with the UDK. So you can see it probably took a few minutes to do. No, I'll look at it in a second. Okay, so let's just go outside. So you can see this is basically what it's about. So you're running around in here, and this stuff over here is just for.
Can we play that?
Yeah, sure you can.
Okay.
Oh God, I should have said no. So basically here you can. All these small apples here are actually path nodes. That's the ones that it is complaining about. So if I just right click here and go play from here, because this is called DM, I'll actually have a gun. There you go. and they added audio nodes. So you can see that if I just exit, these kind of things here, they will emit sound, and they can be area dependent. Let's just try again. Okay. Whoa. Where am I?
You're stuck in the wall.
Yeah, okay, probably. So you can run around and have fun here. So this is a rather large map actually, and there's things that will kill you.
Have you fixed your map?
Not all of it. Okay. So I'll just make a new level. In this case, I will make it.
Night lighting.
We want a night lighting map. You can also do a blank map. That's actually a good idea. We'll just do a blank map. Okay. So a blank map will look like this because there's absolutely nothing in there except the little red builder brush waiting for you to do something. So there's two ways to approach this. If you just start adding surfaces, you will have an outside map where you're running around. You can see the sky. In this case, there's no sky, so it doesn't matter. So usually a blank map could be something because you want to do like a dungeon thing. So if I right-click my cube, and I'll create a really big cube. So let's make this, and you know, multiples of 2 on the left side of the blackboard up there. So in this case, I will make it 8,192. That is fairly big. It's not insanely big, but it's fairly big. And then I'll make it 4,096 in the height. Okay, and I make there. So you can see now, build actually does nothing except update the brush. It doesn't build anything. It can be confusing, I know, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so I'll put it in here, and what I'll do is I'll add it. So I'll go CSG add. There you go. So I have a giant cube that does nothing. And the reason why I created a cube is that what I'll actually do is like I'll do like a Doom style game where I cut out corridors and rooms inside this cube. So I'll make a corridor that is let's say 1024 units long, and it should be 256 wide and 256 high. A normal character is like 120 something in height. So you can see that I have a small corridor here, and if I move inside the cube, you can see everything is black because I only see the outside. But this is actually good because now, as I made this, I will start cutting out stuff. So I'll just go CSG subtract, and you can now see that this is actually a corridor. And I can play this. I can right click and go play from here, but it will be dark because there's no light. I can add a light. If I hold the L key and just click, it will add a light like so, and I can play from here again, and it's still dark. But if I rebuild my lights, which should take, oh okay, see, I didn't add a light mass volume, so it might be a little, no, it went okay. No importance volume. Lighting will take a long time, so it is important with the light mass volume. Okay, anyway, so here we go. My first map. I can run from this end to that end, basically. And the thing is, if I now save this, save as, make sure you put your maps under the UDK game content maps path, because then it can find stuff. So I'll call this DM test, and then save it. And if I then try to play it now, I will have a gun.
If you save it TVM, then TVM.
Maybe we can try. Save as CDM. There's a list of it in the docs. What types will trigger different type of. See, no, that's not one of it. It's called something else. So just go back and do this. Yeah. Override. Good. So I'll quickly build a small map here. Just staying on the top. I will move my Builderbrush out of the way. The way I can duplicate stuff is simply to drag something using the Alt key. So I'll grab this, and I'll just zoom out here, and I'll use the Alt key, and then I'll drag that over here. And you can see it creates a new one. I'll actually make a couple of these, like so. But it doesn't update because I need to rebuild my geometry. There you go. Why didn't it add the last one? Rebuild geometry.
I think it did. It's just very dark.
Might be, yeah. So I'll need to add a light and a light. You're right. Good. And I'll make a connection between these. So I'll just grab this and make it 256 in all directions, like so. And I can't stress this enough. You should make sure that your stuff is snapping, like so. I will cut, and I will do another cut. So basically you only use the CSG buttons if you are using the Builderbrush. So if I'm duplicating one of these, I'm not using the CSG or the CSG buttons, because that it is already a subtract model. All I need to do is rebuild my geometry, like so. And now we have a I need lights. Of course, rebuild light, go. I don't have a light mass volume yet. I'll do a light mass volume. So a light mass volume is fairly easy to do. I'll just make my Builderbrush really big. Like I'll just make this 9000 because then it's bigger than my scene. And I'll make it 5000. There you go. And then I just need to fit my scene inside it, like so. See, yeah, there. And then I right click volumes down here and say light mass importance volume. There you go. So you can see it has this yellow thing here that is a light mass importance volume. And if I rebuild my lights now, it should not complain, hopefully. There you go. So it's not complaining anymore. Yeah, but this is just this is not built with production lighting. No, I set it to preview, so it's fine. Things like that. Okay, so now I can play from here. There you go. And I have a gun because it's a DM map, and this is a really advanced map, as you can see. We're almost there. What you can do is you can add different types of locations. So if I open the content browser, this one, and I go to actor classes, and there are different types here. There are pickups, so I'll make a weapon pickup. So I just go pickup factory, and I'll move close. So I just selected it over here, and then I'll right click here, and I go add UT weapon pickup factory. This will change depending on what I chosen over here. There, so it's a pickup factory. If I right click it and go to the properties, I can set what type of weapon it should be. So this should of course be a rocket launcher. Yeah. And then I will add an ammo pickup. So that should be ammo for rocket launcher, and it should be over here. Go add UT ammo thing there. So it's over here, and I can, in the properties, I can set things like when it should respawn and yada yada yada. There's also player starts, or you can create a UDK team player start if you have teams on, but I'll just make a player start. I will add one.
Is there only 3 different weapons?
In this one you can add more with scripting
make
and
your-
yes, you can. Add player start here, so basically a player can spawn there, and maybe add one over here. Add player start here. So where did it go? Add player start there. Good. So it should be fine now. Let's see. Oh, see, sometimes you'll have this. That means that this player start is placed in a bad place. I'll just move it in here and it'll change, because now it knows it's in a good place. Final thing, content browser and static meshes. I need to add textures as well. So let's take that first. I click all assets. I click materials. I'll just turn all 3 on. I need to find something I can use for the wall. I can of course just go wall up here, there, so there's a nice wall here.
What do you do if you close the content browser?
You open it on the content browser button, the little black thing at the top. Yeah. So I select this, and then I select the wall. You should be able to see that it just gets slightly pale blue, and then I can right click and go apply material. So I apply material to that face of that brush. If I want to add it to more, I can click this, right click, go select surfaces, and then I can go adjacent walls. So now selected all of the walls, and then I go apply material, and it should apply to all the walls that is adjacent to that one. And let's just go here, right click, go select surfaces, adjacent walls, apply there, and the same here, right click, select surfaces, adjacent walls, apply. There you go. And then we need a floor. Click the floor, right click, go select adjacent floors, and I need to find a floor, so go floor, and it should be something nice like yeah, kitchen floor. Really good. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Right click, go, oops, and then I need to just select again, select adjacent floors there, and then go apply material. There you go. Oh, that looks nice. Sort of like that old game from Valve, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it looked a bit like this.
Good morning, Mr. Freeman.
Exactly. Let's see.
Looks like you're in the battle today.
I don't know if I have a nice. I'll have a like a stone
You
thing
don't know the
here.
joke? Yeah.
Like select floors and go apply material. Okay. So basically that applied all my materials. So that helped a lot. But I also want some decoration. So I'll just turn off all the materials. And I'll turn on static meshes. And there's all kinds of things. So there's stairs and stuff, but I just want like a pillar of some sort. So just go click that and turn off my search. So for instance, let's have a tube here. So I click that one, and I right click over here, and I go add static mesh. So I'll get this. It's a pretty big tube.
Quick question, Perry.
Yes.
Why is the map so bluish?
It's because it's yeah, that's just the way it looks basically.
It's Battlefield 3, yo.
So you can see that right now I have this thing here. So that was not it. It's this thing here. So you just move it to the corner. You can see it actually starts casting a bit of a shadow on the wall there. So I'll put it over here, like there. And then I need to change the size of it because it's too small. So I can just tap to the scale button, and then I just scale it up. Let's see. that's too much. That's perfect. Good. Then just zoom in, and of course I can just add a couple of these. So hold the Alt key, and there's 3 of those. See, this is a case where I might actually turn off snapping, because I just need to select these and put them close to the wall. And snapping is not important in the same way with static meshes. Okay. And let's see if there's something else we can use. We can. Oh, there's this thing. You can add doors and stuff. But there was one thing I thought was just like a fence. Maybe it's easier to just go fence. Ah, not that. Let's see if I can find it. You can see, oh, there's a nice house here as well. Ooh. See? Oh, beautiful house. Plants, walls, rocks. Just need that one bit there. Where is it? Go, go, go. Oh yeah, that's a nice platform here, so I'll just grab that. Sometimes it will not show up in the menu when you right click here. So you can see it's not here. You need to go to add actor and then go to load. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. So it loads it, and then you can right click and go add, and it'll be in there. And then you can place it, and let's see, we can put it over here, and I'll make this work like a wall. So I'll just go tab it, and then I will rotate that up there, and then move it into the, so it's like that. Okay, and this should actually collide right out of the box. So let's try this scene. So right click and go play from here. But I need lights. Build lights. There's also a button up here where it's a cube and a light bulb that will build everything for you. There you go. Lots of warnings. Okay, never mind. Play from here. What? Okay, so I'll just build everything, and it should do everything. Yes, good. And we'll try. So it's okay. It actually, this is a rather nice thing to be aware of. There's no kill set. So basically, that is a value you can set in your world settings. And a kill set value is the height where if the character falls below that height, it will die. So if you have an open scene where you can walk over the edge, it's a good idea to set a kill set. Otherwise, your character will fall for maybe an hour before something happens. And if you turn this on, you will get a, well, it is turned on, it's just set really far away. You'll see a red line. So if I set this to -10, like so, you should see a red line in my scene here. Yeah, you can see the red line is here. Actually, now I'll kill everybody at all times because they're right in the middle of the kill set.
Try to steam.
That's no fun.
Sit.
So I'll change this to -50. It needs to be more, -200. Yeah, okay. So basically, if I have I can just make a pit in the middle here. Yeah, you know, a place where people can fall into. So in here I'll make a cylinder, and 256 is good, and the radius to be 128. Let's go build. And I'll put that in. Oh, I will put that in the middle there. I just need to move it down, and if I then cut that out, there you go. then that will actually lead into the place where you don't want to fall into. So just building this. So you'll see in a second. So it's basically just complaining that I didn't build it with production lighting. Okay, so if we play from here, I fell into the hole. Bugger. Okay, so you can see that I have this hole. It looks funny because it's not textured. So I can run around here and I can't pass through this one, and I can maybe make it across, but if I fall in, I will die because I passed the kill set. Maybe I should just select adjacent walls. Just need to, actually here I need to select it manually because it's matching that wall as well. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Select. What? Well, can I do what?
Can you just go in the other? I didn't use. I just pressed the one on the other screens. Then we'll select all.
So just grab this wall thing. So it was that one, and then right click and go apply material. Okay, good. And I just need to have a floor there, and I can just grab this one and then go apply. There you go. And I need to rebuild all again. Of course, if you make a capture the flag map, you need to add team starts. So there's a blue and red team, and you need to add like zones, home zones. Okay, so it's done, and it's done, and we can play from here. Yeah. Okay. So you can see now it looks. Oh, actually, this floor is slightly transparent. Apparently. That's fun.
Dragon, jump in the hole! I promise you there's candy down there.
Okay.
That's candy.
So that is a 5-minute crash course to UDK. Well, 48 minutes, 42 minutes.